Coming to paperback and e-readers, from the author of the critically acclaimed book The Man Crisis comes The Woman Crisis. Learn why so many women are becoming lost in their quest to have it all in The Woman Crisis. Pre-order your copy of The Woman Crisis on Amazon.com today. A Las Vegas County official was arrested and charged with the alleged murder of an investigative reporter for a Las Vegas newspaper. Now, according to reports, Clark County Public Administrator Robert Tellez allegedly stabbed Jeff German, a reporter with the Las Vegas Journal-Review, at his home and took his life. Now, the police are seeing this as an isolated incident, but when I take a critical examination of this alleged incident, it fits right in line with the pattern and profile for beta males that I talk about in my book, The Man Crisis. And when I look at the behavior of your Robert Tellez, it fits right in line with the pattern and profile of behavior of a beta male who wants to live in a smooth world. Now, when it comes down to beta males, when they get into prominent positions, sometimes they want to live in a smooth world and they don't want to have to deal with any sort of problems, conflicts, or obstacles. And because they don't want to deal with conflicts, problems, or obstacles, they oftentimes are very severe when they go and do their job, and this leads to a lot of people thinking that there is something wrong as related to their behavior. Now, this reporter, German, at 69 years old, was looking to see if there was something going wrong at his office, and there were allegations as related to your Tellez having an inappropriate relationship with a subordinate and participating in an abusive workplace. Now, a lot of these beta males, they will become very abusive, and I talk about this in my book, Stop Simping, in the workplace, and they become this way because they want to make sure that their world is smooth. So in order for them to have a smooth world, they rule with an iron fist, and they are very tyrannical and very controlling. Now, all of this information coming out, this really disrupted the beta male's smooth world, and when it comes out, this is something that the beta male does not want to come out because they don't really want problems or obstacles in their way. And this report from this investigative reporter led to a lot of simmering and boiling in anger from this employee. And eventually, once this story got out, it possibly led to an investigation that was published. And once that investigation was published and disrupted the smooth world that Tellez had, what happened was he started to get more and more angry, and he eventually wound up exploding in rage once he had failed in his re-election bid and lost in the primary in June. Once he lost in the primary in June, this male wound up exploding in rage, and he wanted to go out here and, I believe, possibly go out here and make this reporter pay for destroying the smooth world that he had with this position in the county as a county official. As he lost his position as a county official, he wanted to go out here and allegedly go out here and get even with the individual that cost him his job and cost him his position. And this is what possibly led to this individual allegedly going to the home of this reporter and allegedly stabbing this reporter and taking his life. Because once you disrupt a beta male's smooth world and you make that world rough, what these individuals do, again, is that they simmer and boil in anger for an extended period of time, and because they are just so angry, they explode in rage, and they look to go out here and get even with the individual they believe cost them their career or whatever they were working for. So this is what possibly happens when you're dealing with a beta male, because oftentimes beta males are not good at conflict resolving. They're not good at problem solving, and in a lot of cases they go out here, and because they don't know how to conflict resolve and problem solve, once things don't go their way, they believe that their world is destroyed, and because they believe that their world is destroyed, they look to destroy everybody in the world around them, and they want to make the person who they believe destroyed their lives pay. And that possibly could be the case here, as related to this Robert Telles, as related to him losing his position. He could have been a guy who went from a man who was in a prominent position in Las Vegas in becoming a man in crisis. And this man in crisis, because there was no intervention, went out here and looked to destroy the life of an individual he believed cost him everything as related to his career. But his whole career was already in a bad place, because he wanted to go out here and hide all of the problems in his office. I mean, according to these reports, he was already under investigation again for that being a tyrant as related to his office, and he was also involved in an inappropriate relationship. So this individual, he was in a bad place. But a lot of times beta males wind up in bad places like this, because what they do is they create a triple standard, and that triple standard is one set of rules for women, one set of rules for men, one set of rules for themselves. And this guy had 3 sets of rules, and this investigative reporter possibly found out about those 3 sets of rules, and that wound up again disrupting his smooth world as related to the investigation and the investigative reporting he did on the office. And this was something that basically led to this guy losing his job. And the judge noted that there was DNA on his hands and his fingernails. So this could possibly be an open and shut case, but it's an open and shut case that shows us the clear and present danger that beta males are in society, and how they can just go from being a success one minute to self-destructing the next. And a lot of times these guys wind up self-destructing as a result of their own behavior, and they self-destruct because they don't want to take responsibility for their behavior, because this individual, again, looks like he was angry because, again, he wanted to blame this man for doing his job. And again, investigative reporters, they do their job, and if they go out here and do an investigation, it's because they have evidence of things in some cases. And most smart men go, okay, let him report what he's going to report, but if I have facts and evidence to show the truth, I'm not going to get upset about it. But this guy got upset because it looks like the facts possibly were there as related to that behavior. And this guy, he just got mad because this reporter found out the truth about him. And if these allegations prove to be true, and they say that there's evidence that this man has the man's blood in his fingernails, he's now looking at going from being a Vegas public administrator to being an inmate inside of the Nevada prison system. And he's going to go from working in an office to being worked over by Bubba and Tiny inside of the penitentiary for Little Debbie snack cakes, ramen noodles, cups of coffee, Fritos chips, 6-pack Oreo cookies, cans of Dr. Pepper, or whatever, some Crystal Lights. That's where this guy is going from. But that doesn't matter, I believe, to him, because he felt like he had nothing to lose at that point. And when many of these beta males, once they get the truth revealed about them, this is where they get into the nothing to lose mode, and that's where these guys become extremely dangerous. when they get to the point where they believe they have nothing to lose and they've lost everything, a beta male will try to destroy the life of others in order to be able to go out in infamy, and that's what happened here. Now, when I look at this incident, again, it's a pattern. It fits right in line with the pattern and profile for beta males, and this is a textbook example of what happens when one of these men go out here and explode in rage, because their smooth world has been disrupted, and because their smooth world has been disrupted, they want to destroy the world of the person who took their livelihood. And this is what happens when you deal with a beta male. Again, these men are very fragile, these men are very dangerous, and once things don't go their way, they go out of their way to make everybody pay. And again, that's what makes this a man in crisis. And a man in crisis is a very dangerous individual, and this is a textbook example of how dangerous these kind of individuals can be. Now, if you want to learn more about the smooth world and how it can lead to a beta male making life hard for others, you can pick up my book, The Man Crisis, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find The Man Crisis on Smashwords, the iBookstore, and Google Play. And if you want to see me do more men's issues videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available for the first time on Google Play, The Man Crisis. Learn why so many men are falling apart in an increasingly gynocentric world in The Man Crisis. Get your copy on Google Play today.